Hello, good day, everyone. I promised you this bonus training on monetization of your gifts, skills, and more. And we're basically going to teach you today how to start. So, before we start, I want to take time to introduce myself. I'm not going to take it for granted that all of you know me. So, if you don't know me, my name is Brenda Umuaroro. I'm a vivacious and creative woman with a heart for helping others. I have a gift for organizing things seamlessly and working with people. And though I studied architecture, my gift has found better expression in construction project management. I'm also a gifted writer who loves to tell stories. I have written six fiction books and two non-fiction books, and I also teach others how to write and publish their own books while also offering a done-for-you service in publishing. With 17 years post MSc experience in architecture, I have spent an active part of this time in management roles. I'm married to my best friend, and together we are blessed with four amazing and creative children. When I'm not doing architecture or project management or writing, I love to listen to music and travel. And write about women equality, girl child advance. Now, why should you listen to me? I am the convener of Women's Growth Academy, which is the coaching outfit for women. I'm also an author of several books. I'm a speaker, I'm an architect, I do designs and buildings all over the place. I'm a coach, I'm a child of God, I'm a mother of four, and I'm an all round fabulous human. What about you? Tell me about yourself. I'm telling you that I have found all of these skills and gifts within myself, and I'm actively monetizing all of it. So that's why I'm here to teach you today how to do the same. Ready? Great. So what we'll be covering in this course is number one, what does it mean to monetize? Number two, why should we monetize? Number three, what is in your hands for developing this skill and gift? Five, ways to monetize. And then six, how to work with me. Great. Let's get right into it. What does it even mean to monetize? The definition is as follows. This is from udemy.com, and it says monetizing your gifts and talent refers to the process of turning your natural abilities and talents into a source of income. The process of turning your natural abilities and talents into a source of income. This involves finding ways to sell your skills or products related to your gifts and talents, or finding employment that aligns with your strengths. So, it may not always be about business, it may not always be about selling. You could also be monetizing your gifts by finding employment that aligns with your strengths. Great. So, why do you want to monetize? I dare say we all need some extra money, but here are the top five reasons why you should monetize. Number one, to make you more financially independent. Number two, to augment your present income and support your family better. Number three, to raise passive income that can lead you to fulfilling your financial goals. Four, to have more so you can do more impact work. People I know that love to do a lot of work. If you had more, you can do more, right? And number five, to help more people. Who wouldn't love to help all those people that come to you every day to ask for money? If you had more, you could give more. So these are the reasons why you want to monetize. Now, let's get started. I always start this with what is in your hand. So Bible references here we have Exodus 4 to 2 to 3. Here Moses was talking to God when he came to tell God about, oh my God, these Egyptians and all of this, they're about to, chase us down into the Egyptians had the Israelites had just left Egypt and they were running out of Egypt. And the Egyptians had a brainwave to say, you know what, why are we letting them go? Go after them. And Moses and the other Israelites saw them coming after them and they were scared and they thought they were going to die. And Moses went to the Lord and said, what are we going to do? And God said, what is that in your hand? Moses says, a walking stick. And God said, throw it down. Now, it was what he had in his hand that God used to liberate them. He threw it down and the Red Sea parted and they were able to pass it on dry land. We all know the story, right? But it started from what he had in his hand. In Matthew 14:16 to 19, this was when the disciples were with Jesus and he had been teaching people all day and it was night. And he said to them, give these people something to eat. And they were like, No, master, we have sent them away. There's no food. There's no way we can feed all these people. And Jesus said, they do not need to depart. You give them something to eat. And they said to him, we have only 5 loaves here and 2 fish. And he said, bring them to me. Then he commanded the crowd to sit down on the grass. He took the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, and looking up to heaven, he blessed and broke and gave the loaves to his disciples, and the disciples gave them to the crowds. Now, this story, we all know how the story goes. It ends by saying that, they fed everybody, and what was left over was 12 baskets. Jesus could have fed the 5,000, even just by speaking the word. But he said, what do they have there? Bring them to me. So God needs what you have in your hand to help you in this monetization. He needs you to bring what is in your hand. Do you see? Now, let's go on. So what is in your hand? Now, the following categories to be monetized. Number one is your skills. And what do skills mean? The things that you know how to do. Number two is your gifts and talents, the things that come to you naturally. Number three, your passions, the things you love to do. And number four, your experiences, the things you have lived through. The uncommon experiences that you have had, they can be turned to money. So, what are your skills? A skill is a learned power of doing something competently. It's a developed aptitude or ability. So, it's a learned ability to act with determined results with good execution, often within a given amount of time, energy, or both. Now, this is from Wikipedia. So I'd say that skill is something that you get from training. Okay, it's a learned power of doing something. So you learned it, you exposed yourself to it, you learned it, and now you can do it. My architecture is a skill. I went to school for 7 years to be able to do it. Okay, your baking could be a skill, your cooking could be a skill, your sewing, fashion designing, whatever it is you can do that you had training for is a skill because it's a learned ability to act and you can give determined results, right? Because you were taught in a certain way. That is a skill. So, what are your skills? What skills do you have? Think about them and write them down. Next thing, what are your gifts and talents? Your gifts and talents are an innate ability, aptitude, or faculty, especially when unspecified, that are above average. Okay, let me take that again. Gifts and talents are natural skills and abilities. They are natural skills and abilities. It may seem like you were born with them, or at least you learn them very quickly. Because we often say people are naturally talented, you get. For me, I started to write as a kid. This is from Collins Dictionary. I was writing as a kid. And I think that when I started to write again as an adult, it came naturally to me, it came easily to me. Some people may say I was born with it, but I think that yeah, it is a completely and totally a gift, right? So, what are the gifts? What comes easily to you? How do you know your gifts? Things that people come to you and, what other people struggle for, you do it easily. It comes easily to you. Those are your gifts. Write them down. Then your passions. What are your passions? Passions is that feeling that makes your heart race, your eyes light up, and your energy levels soar. According to Merriam-Webster, passion refers to a strong feeling of enthusiasm or excitement, either for something or about doing something. Passions are often something you would love to do constantly. Traveling is a good example of a passion. Mhm. I'm passionate about women empowerment. I could teach women how to make money all day, every day. I'm just passionate about it. That is my passion. What is yours? What are your experiences? Everyone has a unique story. You have to learn to tell your story. So, being able to turn your experiences into something valuable is key. And every single thing you experience in life falls into one of these four categories. One is either a joyful experience, or a learning experience, or a stretch experience, or a gateway experience. Now, joyful as it sounds is something that happens to you that was joyful. A marriage, a birth of a child, something, a graduation, joyful experience, getting a job, learning experience, something that was not so pleasing, but you learned something from it. Like maybe when you broke and you learned how to, make money in that time, or something that you made a mistake and you learned how to do better, in that experience. So that's a learning experience. A stretch experience is something that you did that you did not know that you had the capacity to do, But when you were faced with it, you had to stretch to get to it. Okay. Example of that is maybe you were asked to, host, facilitate a conference for 500 people. Just organize the whole conference from your office. You told you to do that. You've never done that in your life. It was a stretch, but you did it, and it now becomes one of the things that you can do. Right? It now becomes something that you can teach and you can help others. It's part of your arsenal now. It was a stretch experience, but it's great as a monetization tool. Number four, gateway experience, something that happened and like changed the direction and trajectory of your life. A loss of a parent, a loss of a partner, anything. But it was a turning point. You can mark that day as the day that your life changed. That's a gateway experience. They're powerful. So let's reflect. What do you have in your hand? From the last section, list at least three things in each of those categories. So three skills, three gifts and talents, three passions, and three significant experiences. I gave you four types of experiences so you must have at least three. One joyful, one stretch, one learning, one gateway, whatever, right? At least three, or we can make it four. List them down, write it down. I really need you to write it down. Take a pause this video right now and write it down. Okay? And you can come back. Now, when you've written all of them down, this is the next step, developing your gifts. So you discovered from the last exercise how very resourced you are. I mean, didn't you just wow yourself? Like, oh wow, I mean I can do all of these things. Now, it's not just enough to be resourced, but to develop the gift. Now, I'll tell you the story of Joseph the dreamer. Remember Joseph? We know Joseph in the Bible, right? Joseph, the one whose father loved him and gave him the coat of many colors. Joseph, the one who his brothers wanted to kill. Great. Now, I'll tell you another side of the story. Joseph was a dreamer. Joseph could dream. He could he could interpret dreams, right? And he said interpreting his own dreams from when he was really little. The dreams that he interpreted that caused him trouble, that made his brothers want to literally kill him. He had been practicing his gift by interpreting those dreams. By the time Joseph got into the when he was sold and he got into Potiphar's house, he was still doing his work. He was doing his work excellently, and then Potiphar's wife came with her drama and sent him to jail. And while he was in jail, he was going about his business, but he had two people who were sad, and he said, "What's going on with you guys?" He said he had a dream, and then he interpreted their dreams. Now, because he had been practicing interpreting dreams, he was able to do it. Now, when he interpreted the dreams, he said to them, "When you go back, please mention me to the king." He was advertising his gift. Eventually, he was called by the king when there was problem in the land, and they asked him again, "Can you interpret this dream?" Because he had been rehearsing it, because he had been practicing, because he had honed the skill, he could then interpret the king's dream. Right? So, how do you develop your gifts? Number one, you have to practice it. Practice, practice, practice. Whatever you practice gets stronger. So, if you want to learn how to write more. You want to learn how to dance more. You want to learn how to run more. Okay? Practice, practice, practice. Number two, advertise it. People would only know you can do something if you advertise it. You need to tell everyone, "Oh, this is what I do now. This is what I do now." As you introduce yourself in places, as you talk about what you do, people would know. Number three, package it. Now, people can only pay for something that is a product. So if you do not package it in a buyable format, how can they help? Do you see? This is the next thing you need to do. Now, ways to monetize. Now we're getting started. So you've understood that you have all of those skills, gifts, and all of those things. And you need to find, first of all, find the marketable niches and tie your offering to them. Then next, determine what format to deliver your knowledge. Remember, I told you that it has to be packaged. So how are you going to deliver it? Let's go. These are the marketable niches. Most people will be interested in the following. Anything that has to do with money. I mean, money is a big deal, right? Relationships. And this is marriage, parenting, whatever type of relationships. Human beings were born for relationships. So you can always sell that. Then education, we want to learn. Everybody wants to learn something. The self-help education industry is growing faster even than the universities now. Health, everybody wants to live longer. So anything you're going to teach about health, in terms of whether it's weight loss, whether it's keeping you younger, whatever it is, we're all for it. Then next one, beauty. The beauty industry is astronomical. Women will not eat, but they will buy wig, they will buy lashes, they will do their makeup and all of those things. So beauty will sell, and of course, sex. Sex sells. You know this, right? So if you're brave enough to tie your offering to sex, you would sell. Now, there are many more sub-niches, but we'll stick to this for now. So just look through all the things that you said are your skills, your passions, and everything, and see if you can tie them into money, relationships, education, and co. I'll tell you a short story. So I write, okay, an author. And when I'm writing a book, if I want to teach something in the book I'm writing, if you can teach it and tell people that this thing, you know, that this skill I'm teaching you will help you to make money, it will sell faster. People love money matter. Do you see? Or this skill will help you improve your relationship with your husband or with your child. Boom, it's a no-brainer. So this is the way you can take what you're doing and tie it to those niches. I hope it's clear. Next, how to deliver your knowledge. And the next thing you need to know is what format do you use to present your information. And there are many options. The first one is ebooks or printed books. There's books, right? A book, physical book, or an ebook. Next, webinars or master classes, like sort of like what I'm doing now. This is a webinar. Or you can have live ones, live webinars when people are live on Zoom and you're talking to them. Then there's online courses. This is like an online course now because you will not be having interaction with me. So it can be video or audio. And then number four, physical classes. You can have gatherings, seminars where people speak with you physically. You must pick the method that best suits your target audience and your personality. So let me explain this a little. So, if you're going to write, first of all, is your personality. For me, I like to talk. I like to be center of the attraction. So I can very well do webinars. I can do physical classes. I can be out, right? I also like to write, so I can do books. Now, but when I want to deliver a message, I have to think about it. What is the best for my target audience? So when I'm writing children's books, for example, I don't do ebooks for children. Nobody gives their children device. I mean, children have devices, yes, but they don't use it for books. Most times they use it to play games and watch YouTube. So the books are usually used to keep children off the screen. So you don't want to give children ebooks. Do you see? It's not working. So children's books have to be hard copy books. It has to be something that they can hold. And the parents can say, okay, book time, can keep it with this way. So if you wanted to do children's book in an e-book format, you would probably not sell. Good. Now, if you were rather writing to young adults, like teenagers, stroke young adults who are glued to their phone, an ebook would be a fantastic idea because they don't have to separate themselves from their usual entertainment. They can read one on the book on the phone. So that's a great idea for ebooks. Excuse me. You understand my point, right? So if you wanted to do physical classes, that would be for people that really like to see you. Maybe my mother would not like online course now, for example. My mother is turning 70. She would like an online course where she has to be listening to audio and video. She would like to see the teacher and feel her. Physical class will be better for her. So it's one about your personality and your target audience. Find a marriage, and that's how you select how to deliver your knowledge. You can do all of this, to be honest. I can even deliver my knowledge in all the four ways, but just to different audiences. Now, the secret of getting ahead is getting started. So that's why I gave you my book, Just Start It. So even as you know all of these things, you know what to do to start your monetization journey, you need to actually get up and get started. So if you have any questions, it's time. You can reach out to me and I'll answer them. But you can also book a clarity course call with me where I will sit down and look through you. I'll give you a question you prepare it and then send it to me before the call. And we sit down on the call and examine your responses. We will together get tailored guidance for you, assess your skills, and give you tools to get started immediately on making money. I have many students who have made money out of this, and it's a fantastic 1 hour call. But you get everything, like you get everything. I will sit down with you, and we together outline all your skills and talents, and find you the best and workable, marketable niche for you to get started immediately. You want to try? Send me a message on Instagram or my Brenda. You can on your book you find the QR code where you can scan and book that clarity call. Connect with me in all of these ways. Take a screenshot, call me on phone, send me a WhatsApp, send me a message on Instagram, Facebook, anywhere. I'll be willing to work with you. My name is Brenda Onu. Thank you for buying my book, and I hope you learned something from this bonus course. God bless you.